Welcome to Fortune Cookies Tarot. Today we're going to be talking about Kamala Harris and her bid for the presidency. We're going to have 3 videos on this. This is part 1. Stick around for the next one. We'll be right back. Welcome to Fortune Cookies Tarot. So I've been going through some of my videos, and there is one, I'll put it at the end of this one. Is it time to go for Joe? I got a couple of things right on there. So I encourage you all to go back and take a look at it and see what you think. In this 3-part, we are going to take a look at Kamala Harris and see how prepared she is for this presidency. Just some moving parts around running for president. So let's start off in this video, part 1. How prepared is she and how prepared is her team? I'm going to bring up the card view. Before I do that, thank you so much for watching. If you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing and like and share this video and comment down below. This is the most interesting time ever in the United States history, including that little revolution we had in 1776. So we've just had where were you moments again and again over the last few weeks. So I stress to my kids that this is their the Kennedy moment, the November 63, you guys know what I'm talking about, when Elvis died, where were you when Kurt Cobain died, when the announcement was made about Kurt Cobain, of course 9/11, all of the large events, Pearl Harbor. We have had no less than 6 where are you moments in the last 3 weeks. So it's a pretty significant time of history. Both my kids kind of rolled their eyes at me, but it is what it is. They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. So let's take a look at how prepared Kamala is and how prepared her team is. Vice President, Madam Vice President. We're going to take a look at that in this one. So, and like I said, this is going to be a 3-parter. So look out for parts 2 and 3. Let's bring up that card view. I hope you're having a great day. Hope you're enjoying everything that I do. I did a little bit of a different layout for you guys. I think this is going to be a little bit easier to see the cards. We're going to get that selenite out of the way, some other stuff out of the way. I'm nice and tiny up here in the corner. So let's see, how prepared is Kamala for this? How prepared is Kamala for this? 3, she's got a good team behind her. She's got people working with her, in concert with her. Here, they've got some work to do in terms of information and likability. That's one of the things that everyone's been talking about with Kamala, is the likability factor, and that she's a little unlikable with some groups. So I think one of the things that's a standout for me, it was when she debated Mike Pence in the 2020, and she kept saying, I'm speaking. Very irritating, not a good propaganda persuasion, debating style, saying, I'm speaking, underscoring the misogyny of the other party. Really just came off as, you're not saying anything. We often see individuals on social media where they say, I just want to say. There's one particular talking head that I'm thinking about. And when you just want to say something, don't just want to say it, just say it. I'm not a perfect speaker. I do try and convey my sentiment as intelligently as possible. I do try and do that. Sometimes I mispronounce words, especially when I'm in the psychic zone. That happens sometimes. But I also have language aphasia, so I do have a terrestrial issue from a head injury. But I just am very concerned that she's going to step to the table with that same kind of debating tactic. So, they're going to have to change up this likability. They're going to have to make her more likable. And I did see that in her first statement, her first public speaking after Joe Biden stepped down from the election. She was much more presidential. I want to give her that. They still had him like call in, but she was much more presidential. So I do think that they've kind of brushed up. I did hear on talk radio. I know I listen to talk radio. I don't watch it, I listen to it. But they did say something on talk radio that she has had some kind of culture training where they were teaching her how to do different manners and behaviors in different groupings, let's put it that way. So, and I do think that that's valuable. My former high school did something very similar. It was kind of like this etiquette training, which was really cool. But I do think that they need to brush up on this, and I think they're working on it. I think we're going to talk about her team in just a minute in the next spread. Under the surface, ready to get to work. She has been poised for this. She is excited about it, but very concerned about the information that's coming out. This is something that she's wanted. And I do want to say this isn't like a childhood dream of hers to become the president of the United States. The dream for her was to be in law and some facsimile of politics. But it wasn't like she wasn't a little girl who said, I want to be the president of the United States. She wanted to be part of this. This kind of evolved. This presidential positioning kind of evolved for her, which is very interesting. She just kind of fell into it. So I'm very curious if this is a fated situation for her. Let's look at what's in the immediate future. Immediate future is the Emperor in reverse. That's a very interesting card for her to get. So the ability to intuitively, what I'm getting, the ability to gather individuals to get behind her and support her, it's just not there. Well, that's our problem here. We have some issues with that. So that's unfortunate. We need someone to be a leader. How does she see herself? Let's look at this one. It's ready to go. New adventure. How do others see her? There's stuff behind the scenes that they need to be concerned about. We're just going to go shuffle a little bit to the left here. Sorry, guys. I am on a new layout, so I'm not sure where my positioning is yet. I did have my selenite there to mark my spacing. Hopes and fears. Oh boy, I'm calling it that she's not going to present well in the debating with Donald Trump. She's not going to present well. There's going to be too much to prove. She's going to try and prove herself a bit much. So there's one thing about women that abandon their femininity that really concerns me. As women and in corporate America, as women, we bring something very different to the table. We bring an element of care and concern, and we look at things that men don't necessarily, in terms of a sale, in terms of client handling, in terms of management of a country. We look at things a little bit differently. When women abandon that gift, that feminine, that divine feminine knowledge, when they abandon that, it really is a negative. It's a con in the con column. It's a check in the con column. She really needs to stick with the femininity and build that femininity. She's going to get more women behind her if she does not abandon her femininity. So let's take a look at her team. And right now, her team feels fairly balanced between men and women. The divine feminine, the divine masculine. It feels pretty balanced. So let's see. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, they're in disagreement, though, about what they're going to do. Let me pull the cards into better view here. They're in disagreement about how to proceed. The conflicts is they're really trying to, what holds us and binds us in that position. They're really trying to figure out what's going to stick, what's going to get their butts in the seats and ballots in that box. The Tower, immediate behind them. They need to leave the Joe situation behind them. Okay. There was some comment that Joe made on that during that speech that he said, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be campaigning right next to her. They're going to not want to do that. Yeah, they're going to want to let that go. Not necessary at this point. So let that go. They don't want it to be Biden Harris Mach 2. They want it to be Harris phase 1. Phase 1. Let's put it that way. This indecision needs to be rallied and rectified immediately. This 2 of Swords up top. They need to choose a path today, not tomorrow, not the end of this week, not start to formulate. They need to choose a path today. We're going to talk about in the next video if she's going to have prosecutor hat or progressive hat on for this campaign, but they need to choose it today. This team needs to get on the same page and have a consolidated effort moving forward, because right now we've got too many people, too many Indians masquerading as chief. Sorry for the analogy. But there are too many people that are pushing to the front of the room so that they can be the winner, so they can be the one that solved the problem, so they can be integral in getting her into the White House. And they all need to chill out and take a step back and figure out who's going to be a better leader. They all can't be leaders on this. They've got to stop auditioning. That's one of the things. We've got a lot of power dynamics that are going on behind the scenes. People that were very much in the pocket of Joe on the campaign committee that are now transitioned to the Harris committee, they are all vying for preservation of their placement. So that's got to stop. The power dynamics got to stop. All right. So this is the team that she has, how they see themselves. They're not really working very well together. They're kind of scrambling all over the place. How others see them as very gregarious and helpful because they did come over from Joe's team. They are playing to the party. Hope is that things are going to work out and everybody's going to do well. But the ultimate outcome is that we are going to have 2 different camps inside this campaign committee. So that is disheartening. What can they do to fix it other than get that consistent messaging out? What else can they do to fix it? Where's our yellow brick road? You guys know I like to be fair on here. It's pretty obvious which team I'm on, who I'm voting for, but I do like to be fair. Say what they can do to fix the situation. What can they do for ultimate outcome, desired outcome? Work together smartly. Get behind the barriers. Look to the future. Plant those new foundations. This is bipartisan. Okay, so we've got to stop looking backward. The ultimate message here, yellow brick road for the Harris campaign, is they've got to stop looking backward. They are going to have to not defend anything that Kamala has done. They have to not blame anything on Joe. They have got to look to the future with this star card. Okay. You guys know this is my own little personal spread that I do. And this card is not determined where it goes. I put it where I feel led, and it clarifies the one that it's above. So here, looking backward is not going to get us to the future. We do need to say this is a new administration. This is a new campaign. We're moving forward. We have the best and the brightest people on board, and we want to work with the other side of the aisle. This is key. This is key. And I think this is going to be very difficult because here we have conflict with working with others. And if we have the 3 of Pentacles, we potentially have independents, Republicans, and Democrats. We have 3 parts of our government at this point. I think more and more people are becoming libertarian. I myself I identify as a libertarian. My husband identifies as a libertarian. There are certain things about both parties we like, but we don't like the extremes. So, I think more and more people are starting to fall into this in the United States. I think it's a very comfortable place to be in the modern world, knowing what we know. Go Gen Z or Gen X, not Gen Z. I am not Gen Z at all. I am so not Gen Z. Way older than that. So here, the foundations, the main theme. So if this was a thesis, the main thesis is not clear. So we need to have a clearer thesis. Don't look back. Don't talk about the last administration. This is a new administration. We're doing new things. We're doing things on our own. We're not really worried about what's going on with Joe and what he did. We're going to do things the Kamala way. So that is all I'm going to do for today. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. Or not for today. You're going to get 3 videos today. But I want to crank them out so you get them boom, boom, boom. So you can watch some stuff. I've started physical therapy because I've got an injury in my back, and my back is always killing me because I'm old. And according to the hybrid alien Anunnaki beast that I am, I'm not suitable for this gravitational pulse. My back hurts. Look it up. It's not just me. I'm not just an Anunnaki. So we're gonna get 2 more. Sit tight. I'm gonna bring them out, and I will see you in the next one. As always, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for liking and watching my videos. I'm seeing some channel growth again, so I really appreciate the channel growth for my birthday and for summer. And the class is going great. I'm still recording bits of the class, but I appreciate everyone who has signed up for the free class and also for the Lenormand class. If you would like to take my 3-day free tarot class where you can learn how to read a little bit of tarot the way that I do, you can go to the link below. You can sign up for it. It's 3 days, learn at your own pace. There's also a Lenormand class that is for purchase, and I will have a 101 class for tarot coming up, and then there will be a master class that follows that. So doing some crazy stuff here. All right, guys, I will see you all in the next one. Thanks so much.